Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today's lecture is about ions. Have you ever wondered why some elements react so quickly while others do not? It all comes down to their charge and their search for stability. They want to get that stability, they want to be stable. That is why they are just reacting. They are gaining some sort of electrons or losing electrons to get the stability, to get the magical 8, to get, you can say, the octet rule, how this be amplified over there. In this lecture, we will define what an ion is and look at the magical rules, the octet rule, you can say, that makes atom change. So moving towards your question answers, the first question that is given in your books, what is an ion? So usually an atom is neutral because it has the same number of positive protons which are present inside their nucleus and negative electrons which are revolving around them. They cancel each other's effect, but if an atom loses or gains an electron, that balance is broken. The balance between positive and negative charges is now get unstable. Now you can say it has a charge. And then we call this particle, after gaining or losing an electron, we call this charged particle an ion. So an ion is a particle with a positive or a negative charge formed when an atom gains or loses electrons. For example, you can see on your screens sodium, a neutral atom. Its atomic number is 11. It means that it is having 11 protons and 11 electrons. So it is able to get the electronic configuration of 2, 8 and 1. Like in first shell it will have 2 electrons, in next shell it will have 8, and in the third shell it will have 1 electron. So after removing this 1 electron from its outermost shell, now there is 1 electron less as compared to the number of protons. So it will get a positive charge because now it is having 11 protons while 10 electrons. Similarly, for chlorine atom, when it is neutral, so it is having 7 protons and 7 electrons, and its electronic configuration will become 2, 8 and 7. Now it is deficient of only 1 electron. So after getting 1 electron, now it is having 7 protons in its nucleus while 18 electrons. Now it is having 1 more negative charge as compared to the positive charge, and hence it makes an ion. And the particles which are having negative ions are known as anions, and which are having positive ions, positive charges are called cations. So for its definition, you must remember that thing. An ion is a particle with a positive or negative charge formed when an atom gains or loses electrons. And the center of the atom means the nucleus, never changes. Their charges never changes because nucleus is having protons and neutrons. Neutrons are neutral and the center of the atom never changes. Only the electrons move around the nucleus. They are able to change. They are able to move. So the number of electrons are changing by gaining or losing electron. So you have to remember the number of protons stays the same, only electron changes. Next question is, why do ions form? Why do atoms go through the trouble of changing their number of electrons over there? Because they want to be stable. In chemistry, being stable means having a full outer shell of electrons. Most atoms want 8 electrons in their outermost shell. So we call this the octet rule, due to the presence of 8 electrons. Noble gases like helium, neon and argon, because helium is also inert gas, but it is having 2 electrons and its outermost shell is complete due to the presence of these 2 electrons. So noble gases like neon and argon already have 8, so they are very happy and unreactive. Other atoms try to copy them to find the same place as well. So what is basically the octet rule? Octet rule means the elements or the atoms of those elements are struggling to get 8 electrons in their outermost shell to get stability of inert gases like helium and argons, because by having 8 electrons in their outermost shell they get stable. So atoms form ions to achieve a stable configuration, usually a full outer shell of 8 electrons, and this makes them chemically stable just like the noble gases. Here you are having different examples like noble gases stability. The first gas is helium. Its outermost shell is complete by having 2 electrons. Neon, its atomic number is 10 and it is also having 8 electrons. Then argon, full octet, it is having 8 electrons. Krypton, with full octet, it is having 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So atoms want to be like noble gases. They change their electron count to achieve that magical 8 in their outer shell. You must have to remember this thing. Okay, so now we are just moving towards your next question. It is cations and anions. Now you have to understand this concept. Cations and anions. Cations are the ions with positive charges. How they are formed? Cations are formed by losing electrons. By losing electron, they are having the less number of electrons over there and they get a negative charge. For example, we are just going to take an example of like magnesium. Magnesium atom has 12 protons because its atomic number is 12. 12 electrons because number of protons and electrons must be same, equal. If it loses its outer 2 electrons, because if its atomic number is 12, so what will be its electronic configuration? It will like 2, 8 and 2. So it has to remove last 2 electrons from its outer shell. So it still has 12 positive protons but only 10 negative electrons. Now it has 2 more positive charges as compared to the negative charges because it has loses these 2 electrons. That is how it will become Mg2 positive. Similarly, Na positive, it is formed by losing 1 electron. K positive is formed by losing 1 electron. Ca2 positive is formed by losing 2 electrons. And Mg2 positive by losing 2 electrons. Okay, next is, you can also remember it. I have given you like cations are positive and cats are positive. So you can just remember that thing or keep this thing in your mind. Cations are positives and anion is negative. Just remember this thing. Anions, they are formed by gaining electrons. When they are gaining electrons, so they are having a greater number of or a larger number of electrons in their shells as compared to their protons in the nucleus. So different examples like chlorine, Cl negative, one electron is extra over there. F negative, 1 extra electron. O2 negative, 2 extra electron. Oxygen is going to get 2 electrons from anywhere, and so on. Next is chemical formula for ions. I have also given all of you the periodic table. You must have with you. There is you don't have to guess the charges because there is a pattern. What is the pattern over there? Metals are present on the left of the periodic table on the left side of the stepped line, and they usually have to lose electron to become positive charges, to become cations, and non-metals on the right side of your stepped line, and they always gain electrons to become negative. So here are the exact answers you can find out for like potassium ion. Okay, so K positive, how it is able to get K positive? Because its outermost shell is having only one electron, so it just removed it. Similarly, bromine is having 7 electron in its outermost shell, so it gains 1 electron. And for magnesium, it is having 2 electrons in their outermost shell, and magnesium has tendency to lose their electron and make a positive charge, cation with positive 2 charges. So the questions that are given for like lithium, it is present on the left side, it is metal, and it has tendency to lose electron and is able to make cation with positive 1 charge. Similarly, magnesium is also a metal present on the left side of your stepped line on the periodic table, and it will lose 2 electrons and makes a cation with positive 2 charge. Similarly, for fluorine, it's a metal, it's a non-metal present on the right side of your step line, and as well as sulfur on the right side of the step line. Both these are non-metals, and they gain electron. Fluorine gain 1 electron and sulfur gains 2 electron to get stability, and are able to make anions with negative 1 charge for fluorine, fluoride, and sulfide ion is having negative 2 charges. When they are neutral atoms, they are known as like fluoride, fluorine, bromine, sulfur. But when they are the charged particles or anions, then you can say you have to change their names like fluoride, oxide, sulfide, bromide, and so on. You can also just have to keep one thing in your mind, like metals which are from like group 1 to 3, they loses electron and are making positive charges, and non-metals which are present from group 5 to 7, they have tendency to gain electron and usually they are making the negative charges, anions. And use the periodic table to find element symbols, then count electrons their outermost shell, group 1 metals from positive ions, and group 2 metals form positive 2 ions. Now this is the whole mechanism. I have just write it over there, but we already have done practice in the class as well. You can also check it from there and may write it on your books or notebooks. Moving towards your next question, that is predicting ion charges. Okay, so what will be the charge over there after gaining or losing an electron? So how do we spot a stable particle? We look at the electron shell. A full octet means 8 electron in the outermost shell, and full duet means 2 electron, like helium is a full duet, like it is having 2 electron in its outermost shell. This only happens for very small atoms. Only helium is a duet because it's having only 2 electrons. So fluorine atom, its atomic number is 9. Electronic configuration I have shared with you, it's 2 and 7. So it is deficient of only 1 electron to get its octet, need only 1 electron to complete its outermost shell. So what we predict, that fluorine gains 1 electron and may form F negative to get stability, because it is having 9 protons in the nucleus and 10 electrons which are revolving around them. So gains one electron means it is able to complete its outermost shell, and now it's stable like neon and no need to react further. While you are having the questions for neon, so how it get stable? Neon, it's a stable element because it is having a full outermost shell. Sodium, you have to use your periodic table. Its atomic number is 11, so electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 1. So having 1 in its outermost shell, electron in its outermost shell make it unstable. So by removing this, it will get stability and makes an A positive charge. For chlorine, chloride, it will make a chloride ion to get its stability by getting or gaining 1 electron to become a full octet. And oxygen's atomic number is 8. It is very unstable because it's having 2 and 6 electrons in its outermost shell and needs 2 more electrons to get stable. Next is sodium fluoride reaction. Here the reaction between sodium and fluorine, which you have to write about and draw. So we already know what is the electronic configuration for sodium. It is 1 extra electron in the outermost shell, so it has to lose it. When it loses this electron, so fluorine is deficient of 1 electron for its outermost shell. It gains it and having a negative charge, so Na positive after losing that 1 electron and F negative after getting that extra electron, and now it's getting a negative charge. So sodium loses 1 electron, becomes Na positive cation, and fluorine gains that 1 electron and becomes a negative ion, anion, that is fluoride ion. And opposite charges always attract each other and they form the ionic bond. So ionic bond is equals to electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions. Next is and that is how you people can say atoms become ions and metals lose electrons to become positive cations, and non-metals always gains electron to become negative anions to get stability, all in the search for the perfect stable outer shell to make their outermost shell complete. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.